Hi, I'm Mike Morales at Tequila Aficionado Media. You are watching Sipping Off the Cuff. I'm here in San Antonio, and that person over there,
Rick Levy in San Diego.
Rick Levy. We are dissecting and discussing Tragos Amargos, Ramon Ayala's tequila. That's right. If you haven't heard of this, it's fairly new. However, I will tell you, it's won all kinds of awards this year in 2016. So it's not a slouch. If you've been with us so far with the Blanco and the Reposado, you've kind of seen where this is going, and I'm kind of looking forward to the Anejo. Now, do they tell us, Rick, how long these are aged?
18 months in French oak.
Oh, okay. All right.
So they're switching it up, but they're switching up the barrels between the Repo and the Anejo. So they're going to be different.
Now, there's some controversy. The Blanco we know it says is triple distilled. We are not sure whether the Reposado and the Anejo are also. You can assume that, but as I mentioned, to Rick earlier on one of our other tastings, what's that?
You must not assume.
You must not assume. Yeah, because one of our favorites, Don Eduardo, when it was bought by Brown Forman, when they bought Herradura, they also bought Brown Forman, or they bought Don Eduardo, which they do nothing with. I haven't seen Don Eduardo in a liquor store in years, but Don Eduardo, the Blanco, was triple distilled. The Reposado and the Anejo were not. And even the people at Brown Forman didn't know whether that was the case or not. And I know because I was contacted by people who all of a sudden had this inheritance of this tequila, and they said, Mike, are the Repo and Anejo triple distilled too? And actually not. It was not. Yeah. So, we can't assume that this begins with a triple distilled Blanco.
And my translation of that kind of scenario would be that they found their Blanco to be very harsh.
Right.
So they ran it through the stills again. But once you put it in the barrels and you age it, the aging rounds it out a bit and takes off some of those harsh edges that you would otherwise be getting in the Blanco.
Right. And we actually found that out with the Reposado, which was the American White Oak barrel. Gave it a nice woodsy nose.
A little bit of vanilla.
Yeah, you got a little bit of the the caramel, a little bit of honey, not a lot. It wasn't the nose that sang to you, but it added just a slight layer of complexity to.
Yeah, you knew the wood was there, maybe a little bit of sweetness from the previous use of the barrels.
Right. But this one, and I
love
poured
these
some.
Stoppers. I love the stoppers.
Rick is all over himself with the packaging and the stopper. It's very attractive. It really is.
Nice graphic design, and so I like the lines. I think it has nice classic lines.
Yes.
I like it's very tactile.
Wow, there's a word we don't use very often. How's the flavor? Very tactile. What does that mean? I can put it on my pulse points and use it as cologne? I don't know. But yeah, and I love this color. Look at the color on this, man. Wow. Yeah, see? It's very clear. I mean, they're not pretending to be something else that they're not. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I know that I have a red background, but you can see, in fact, I'll do that with mine here. It's a beautiful, it's an amber color. I think they're calling it amber and shades of copper.
Yeah.
And that's exactly right.
Yep.
And we're using Riedel tonight, our Riedel glasses. Very sweet nose. That's very pleasant. I like that.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Way different than the
you can definitely pick up the French oak notes.
Yeah.
It's not the not the same kind of sweetness that you get from the American oak.
No. If you've had tequilas, rested in French oak, you're familiar with that that nose.
Yeah, it's much more coffee and dark chocolate instead of vanilla and caramel.
Right. Oh, that's very nice. That's a pretty nose.
And the agave definitely comes through.
Yeah. Oh, I like this one, Rick. This is very pleasant on the nose. This is one that I can actually, I can actually leave in a Riedel and spend some time with.
Yeah.
Wow. And there's hardly, even in the reposado, there was at the very bottom there was enough alcohol to let you know that it was still tequila, right? But this one's got some great nose at the bottom. Stick your nose all the way down. Wow. There's
I get a lot of agave when I do that.
There's like brown sugar in there. There's like maybe cinnamon. Maybe that's what I'm getting. Spices. I'm getting spiciness. That's what I'm getting.
Their notes are saying orange and vanilla.
I can see that. I think you're. I don't think I got as much vanilla. I got maybe more of that. I think in the repo, but the repo's a different barrel.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm finding any of those, but
no. I am getting some dried fruit. That's what I will say. I'm not getting orange, but maybe I'm getting some dried cherries or something like that. And I've had extra añejos that will smell like this. Actually, it's a very pleasant nose. This is really a nice nose. This one, yeah, I would serve in your Riedel. I think you would be better served with this one in a Riedel than you would in a shot glass with the other two.
And they're recommending this neat as well, which, if you're going to go to the trouble of making an añejo, then, please make it so you can serve it neat.
Make it neat, neat on the, no rocks. You see that in a rocks glass. That's what we call those, rocks glasses. And this is really pleasant. I love this nose. I like this. I could spend some time with it.
I'm going in. Right up front on the lips, I was getting that dried fruit feeling right away.
And
then
right, though.
The agave and pepper comes through.
The agave and pepper were coming at mid-palate.
Yeah.
And the finish is less. The finish isn't as strong as the Blanco and the Repo.
It's a smoother finish. Which
yes.
is welcome.
Yeah. Set aside your sangrita. Okay, because you're not going to need it with this one.
No sangrita needed.
No sangrita. This is a no sangrita tequila. And, it's an award winner also. What are they saying? Silver medal? In 2016 San Francisco World Spirits. It is a silver medal winner. Hey, guess what? I think we found our nominee.
Yeah.
I think for brand of promise, not just for the packaging, of course, but the Anejo. This is more to what we're used to, more to my liking.
More in keeping with the modern craft trend.
Yes. Thank you. I'm glad that you said it. Now, would you play this music? Maybe at a baptism or a quinceañera.
Yeah. After you've done your shots of the Blanco, and already calmed down a little with the reposado, and now it's evening, the kids are going off to bed, you can sit back with your friends and enjoy the añejo.
There you go. Look at you. He's more Hispanic than I am. This song, if you look for Tragos Amargos on YouTube, you will see it's got over 6 million views. But the responses are the comments at the bottom are just hysterical, and that's the kind of memories that this tequila is evoking to the people who are listening.
The whole concept appears to be a cultural play,
yes.
Sort of reaching back,
Well, we mentioned the Blanco and the Reposado they would be considered throwback tequilas, but not in the way that you think. This is the kind of the cry in your beer. I got a broken heart. You know, the stuff that we would watch, the golden age of cinema, the Mexican golden age of cinema, where you watch the mariachis singing and they're drunk and they're crying and they're beer and, and Ramon Ayala comes from that era. I mean, he's been at it for over 40 years. So, what's really cool on the Blanco version of this, we kind of dissected their marketing because they gave us this whole marketing package, the Twitter hashtags that if you compare the hashtag Don Julio to the hashtag Ramon Ayala, Ramon has like more hits, and I think I mentioned to you too, Rick, that I took your picture and before I served it up on our Instagram, TA's Instagram account, I hashtagged it Ramon Ayala. There are 55,000 posts. Granted, they're not all for the tequila, but it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to dovetail. If you see enough of this, it's going to dovetail. One will be affiliate. You'll be worthy by association, and I think that's what the marketers and the owners of the brand and Ramon himself, whether he's an investor or an owner, is looking to do. So
it would be interesting to do a side by side with Don Julio.
There's some stuff I know about Don Julio that you don't want to know. I can tell you right now that this would the flavor profile, you're looking at night and day, and I don't know where in the highlands that they're actually harvesting their agave, whether it's Arandas or Totonilco or some of the other small towns, Jesus Maria, I'm not sure, but because each of those microclimates, the agave will be a little bit different, but that Blanco versus Don Julio,
this is really opening up.
Yeah, this Anejo is lovely. It really is lovely. I think it is worthy of the Brand of Promise nomination for the Anejo. It's more to what we're used to, and yet still kind of keeps a little bit of that. There's still yeah. There's still but it's more of a palate explosion than it is an aggressive attack by the shirt collar.
It's not as fuerte. That's certain.
It's not as fuerte, but it's not completely suave either. So I think I'm
really enjoying the dried fruit notes now. Yeah, it's just something about that French oak. It's really coming through.
Well, when you have a Blanco, if they're starting with this Blanco, whether double or triple distilled, we're not sure, but that Blanco has a lot of character. So it would take a barrel with significant character to balance it out. And I think this one right here really balanced. I think there was an imbalance, for the Blanco and Repo simply because it just doesn't, it didn't
Blanco has met its match with the French barrel.
Exactly. So congratulations to Tragos Amargos. This is a Brand of Promise nominee for the Anejo. It is an award winner, silver medal this year, 2016, at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Look for it. Again, be aware of the bottling. It could chip. There might be some chipping on the very bottom there. Be careful when you grab it, when you get it off your shelf. But get it off your shelf. It is a worthy. It's a worthy look for. I think the Blanco and Repo are great with Sangrita, but this Anejo is a great sipper, and that's what I'll say about that. So that's our take on Tragos Amargos. I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio.
Rick Levy in San Diego.
You've been watching Sipping Off the Cuff. We've been talking about Tragos Amargos. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. Touch that red button that says subscribe. Yeah, down there where Rick is. And where he's pointing. Because it's like diagonally there. If you like pressing those red buttons, this one will make you really happy. And, as we like to say in Spanish, tomar sabiamente, sip wisely.